Semjen Damje Dewa Dan Devi Gyudan Demba Semjen Damje Dunga Dan Dunga Gi Gyudan Dewa Gyuje Semjen Damje Dunga Mebe Dewa Dan Mendawa Semje Damje Nire Chala Nidan Tabe Dan Nyamla Nebara Gyuji Semjen Damje Dewa Dan Devi Demba Gyuji Semjen Damje Dunga Dan Dunga Gi Gyudan Dewa Gyuji Semjen Damje Dunga Mebe Dewa Dan Mendawa Gyuji Semjen Damje Nire Nidan Tabe Dan Nyamla Nebara Gyuji Sajibe Oeji Idam Guru Rana Mendala Kaniya Tayami. Now, the enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by may creating this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. From now on till enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. From now on till enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, may I attain all sentient beings. May all sentient beings do happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings and its causes. May all sentient beings show for bliss. May all sentient beings arise and share. May all sentient beings its causes. May all sentient beings its causes. May all sentient beings may all sentient beings realize. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be separated from joyful bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger.
Covered with a blanket of flowers, the great mountain of the four continents, wearing the jewel of the sun and moon. In my mind, I may visualize this Buddha, and I offer it all to you. By this deed, may every living being experience the Buddha, the dawn.
Idam Guru Rana Mandalam Kamniya Tayami. Kange Dujenge Zungwa Tawa Tamje Tambe Chire Tambe Chen Tamze Be Kodam Dala Cha Talo. Wada Chamden Degi Dwenala Luijin Dak Lenamli Kalbagian Chumiza Sujin Tulam Baba Bergu Sumres. I think when I answer Che Kenlen Room, Malen Room. 레이군 레싱인데 고 뭐였네 주지 연대긴 차거래 와다 땐데기 레 간나기 레싱인데 직 오늘 리파 메가 왔잖아 아니 나보 개와체바이나 아니 강 펜바 랑라이니 두부니가라 밀레바 아니 펜비 레지
개와이나 이게 아니베 가보 개벨이 생제 도 수용 거래 디 가나기 레팅이 왕기 아니 에 가보 개벨이 강 줄젤라 너야 탑람 코랄 줄젤로야 탑람 지다 다 가보 개벨이나 코랄 줄젤 인고에 인비 켜봐다 여 말이지 또강 코랄 줄젤라 미지 아니 이게 와도 뭐래 내체 못 차고 그래 아니 간지 디바 미게 레테양 코로아 칭제인디 칭제들 돌려야지 미 가와디 좀 봐서 용해 매인서 왔다 덴디기 람더 내시고데 다게 전부 차고 그래 dim마시나 아니 몸바 머리 비셔서나 아니 즉에고 간지 미게 레데 제야데 님부 톱지지네 샤금지네 따야지 땅 아니 디부민에 따야지 디니마도 줬어요 말이 어다 님부 톱지지네 샤금 집마시바 있는 아니 디부도 차도 민그레 제 숨은 거리스데 내 전부 숨은 거리 승원에
In the sutra, Buddha mentioned this verse beginning with saying that the karmic action of the sentient beings, it won't get wasted even after thousands of eons. Once when all factors and conditions gathered, it is definite, certain that the result will ripen. And so the concept of cause and effect is considered as something, a fact and reality, whether one's belief in whether one's belief in this precept or not, whether one's belief in religion or not. And under that comes the engaging in white karma or virtuous positive karma will lead to better result, and engaging in black karma or negative activities results in suffering and problem. These two kind of karmic cause and effect, white karma or constructive or virtuous karma, is primarily constructed to free ourselves from cyclic existence, and as a means to free ourselves, to liberate ourselves. Although there is no necessity that whatever positive karma you create is definite to kind of help you to liberate. There's no kind of that kind of certainty in that. But primarily, when we create positive karma, it is to free and liberate ourselves, from the suffering. On the other hand, engaging, creating in negative activities or non-virtuous activities, those becomes cause to keep us in the cyclic existence. And therefore, it is kind of important to understand, this karmic sort of dynamic, how it functions, and what happens when you engage in either of these. Engaging in negative activities or non-virtuous or will end up in kind of two ways. This is kind of certain. The first is either you can apply for powerful antidotes and completely kind of sort of delete those, or you experience the result.
nimbu tubji goni shadom chebala nimbu tubji chesan chelu tuzo tagazu sheya mare lobjon chene mado indugala pecha tuzulo in tubji goni 샤돔 제단 질르도 시과데 시분내 첨버리 대나네 쪼다 대지 공도지네 카르보 게웨 레디 애니페 디바스치렌 로얄라 메투미로 탑람 지마데요 말에 지부 강르잖아 동니 또벨로 동니 길 따발라 꼼디 땡야데 다 탑람 내 채쇼들이 가르잖아 동니 운숨도 또 용디가라 아니 딘진 라 무슨내 용거래 딘진라 무슨내나 딘 디부에니 차당 이걸 깨두고 차당 맡겨 있나 아니 미게레 라징 가도야다 보다 또 수용 거 딘디가라 탑람 여다 찌데 다 손이 또 별로라 가서 툭툭 서서 꼼디 땡야다 데 에시 따야데 내 체주 차리거리
Therefore, understanding of how to understanding of four antidotes, powerful antidotes, and how to apply those when created negative activities, and for purifications and confession practices. It is important to kind of learn more about those, either reading or studying, and among those different antidotes, if we pick up one most important, method or way or tools to kind of completely purify negativities, and that one entity would be wisdom, realizing emptiness, understanding of emptiness. Because only through understanding of emptiness, one can generate an antidote which is directly against a truth grasping thought. So emptiness, understanding of emptiness, or direct realizations of emptiness is something that is exact opposite or conflicting with the truth grasping thought. So when you are able to eliminate that truth grasping thought, whatever that arises from that truth grasping, such as attachment, anger, hatred, they won't arises at all. So here it is important to kind of making one's best effort to get some understanding of emptiness.
What so shewada ngone kechembori kanche parjin tuti janju sem kenne joba chindu lalabas lamrimna subject tagaran tam gorete subject tam indi gala karlagado bage parjin tuti yawan je indi gala ani zame ta karsogor zame ran lagimdo karsogorta 이식이 초라 동이 또 별로데 이식이 동이 또 별로기 개와 가르쳐봐도 이식이 소수로 고아레스 대마이메네 베 장주기 sem기 지나야 소 간디지 갸침이 사나요 장주기 sem기 진 동이 또 베시럽게 맞이나 된다와지 소놈기 처럼마다 이식이 손 누구 말해서 다제도 손도 갈라 동이 또 별로데 간지 미니비 땡기시디 두마투야기 바기 소놈기 초다 이식이 초니여네 이식이 초데 동이 또 르짐베 가와티게디 이식이 초라 누구 아래 와장주기 생기즘베 초데 소놈기 누구 아래 간지 상기 고방 또발라 람띵니게 지펜지도 양네 르짐바지 마주와이나 와다 람 야겨와기 아니 상기 고방 또야당 아니 코랄 또 투야 하보시 다 가르소래 상기 고방 또야라 아니 람땡이 마지나 상기 고방 또야 메아데 다 융망분이 세가테니 숭고아레스 때내 첨버레스 코랄 또 잠라 동이 또 별로이 지나 코랄 또 투고아 어다티기 챵버데 하고이나 아니 동이 생데 간데지 소소 구후임 바데 하고 그레스
in the outlines of stages of path text Lamrim, you can see that practice of six perfections are something that needs to be done after generating awakening or altruistic or bodhicitta mind. And whatever positive activities that you created with the mind of emptiness, that accumulations of positive merits becomes what we call wisdom, accumulations of wisdom merits. On the other hand, whatever positive merits that you created out of altruistic mind, bodhicitta, not influenced by emptiness, then that all becomes, accumulations of, merits only. Those doesn't become, accumulations of wisdom merit. So both of these two are, when we talk about two accumulations of positive merit, one wisdom, oriented, another just merit. These two are needed, required, whether to free from cyclic existence or to attain highest level of enlightenment. And this is mentioned in many of the texts and scriptures, and therefore very crucial to have both of them, in your practice.
Tendi inda tongi tobe lo, tongi tobe tawatela zapase. Eti tembi jundela, eni shijingi doena, wendang tongi ki rimba so she yongdegala, di shindu wangbo nombo, eni pe janshu seba shindu wangnong chedu chawe ndulja chingijila tembara mado, yozame tala tenang yo mare, jago bumbiri. Oda te indigala, ko tsa chenbu yimbade, ko linshi khorangna hawaya chadi yore, isirwa. 좀 된 데기 작업 분들이 나용도 갈라 이니 강 시징이 도 체제기 아니 네텔라 유틴 좀 된 데랑기 좀 바래 아니 차숨세 꼬라숨 꼬 아니 자데니 배도스네 동라캅 이자리 쳐다나 까르체니 저디 가르친 거는 자 천상 줍디와 보다도 진 선제 망보 아니 이 점된데 랑기 나야 돼 가르잖아. 간지 박이 체제기 주에디 할레비 다 가르쳐 그래. 잡고 아니 리박 문이 영인지 마도 꽃도 맹인지 찍도 보이는 쥐짓한 게 상기 내루도 또 보이는 최탐적인 내루도 따랑 또 용매 뒤인디가 잡아 오다 두마로지 잡아 오다 뒤 순고하래 시징이 되나라 배등운도 기름 바세 배등시니 다야 뒤 갸치ዌ 람 기름 바테 뒤기 순고하래 뒤인디가 말한서 람림니 쉐긴 람 냠len 타자 술람는 돼야 돼 하나 시징이 돌아고 구두고하래 구두용고하래 뒤인데가 오늘 아주 시징인 뒤 셔제질라 간지 삼땅고하래 렐라고시 땐 자와니는 말해 다나 티바침 보이나 선잠바군에 된다와 롤라 추고 말해 아주 그 선잠벨 따왔다 기마가요 다른 탕유엘 따와라 지 같이 해야 돼 저지니 가르소리 가와장 보선리지 저지니 가서 한바지 거래 가서리지나 한바랑래 오다 두스레 딘디인가라 간지 고코레 오다 한바이나 한바치 삿 노려 말이 또슨 직 빠차자야 나 지서 간에 펜토용 거래 오다 송이도 별로라 가서 툭툭 곰디 짜야 디링 가서 셔야 돼 간지 다 따외 가나 렛디어래 마선지 미치기 아니 자모통바니 오니 점된데게 텐디체되나서 중들라 아니 센다진 말씀 좀 셔라 버르지 마기 민간은 그 뭐니 소소라니 이제 주의와 숨겨외 임라 차살로 와다 뒤숨겨외 юм 상게 탐적인 로바집에 남데 아주 레몬제 라바데 시작 가와상 버레 인다 와다 도시에 가서 툭툭지 니 시기도 말이지 가서 툭툭지 바바다 마셔나 마존나 와다 두시네 쉬지 가서 툭툭지 가서 소면나 닝기데 제 존데지네 마랑강 셈네 차르겨데 와다 두시네 쉬야레스
Understanding of emptiness. The emptiness itself is considered as profound subject that can be understood only by bodhisattvas of high intelligence and considered as extremely holy and sacred. Emptiness is the shown explicitly in the Sutra of the Perfection of Wisdom by Buddha, and it was taught at the Walchapik Mountain. When you look at the sort of preliminary settings and how Buddha gave this particular teaching, then we know why this teaching is so sacred, so holy, so profound. At Walchapik Mountain, Buddha, to teach this Perfection of Wisdom Sutra or Transcendental Sutra, Buddha constructed his own throne and then, made 3 circumambulations to show kind of signs of enlightened beings. He covered his entire face with his tongue, one of the signs of the enlightened being. And implicitly or indirectly in the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, we also find the stages of the path. Literally, it would be hidden stages of the path. That is also part of the content of Transcendental Wisdom Sutra, and from that comes the all extensive practices of path, and those are the one that practices of Lamrim stages of path originates. And when kind of engaging in the understanding of the stages of path Lamrim, it really, we are actually going back to this particular sutra, teachings of Buddha, Transcendental Wisdom. And this profound, concept of emptiness is also kind of, a different expression used for this one. Many aspects, but one taste. Once it's extremely difficult to understand the emptiness of thing, but once you understood emptiness on one phenomena, you can apply to any thing. So one, taste, different aspect. And these kind of teachings, let alone by ordinary understanding, but this is even beyond the understanding of the practitioners of the mind-only school, which, when you look at the sequences, those were the the second highest school of thoughts, and for us as an ordinary people, and then trying to understand, which is beyond understanding of mind-only schools practitioners. We are trying to understand the philosophy of middle way consequence schools, the higher school of thought. It could be sort of interpreted in a two-way. The one would be more kind of positive. It's really kind of fortunate and auspicious for us to able to engage in this kind of study. The other kind of more negative perspective would be we are sort of overconfident, even though we don't have that kind of intelligence, but trying to study the most profound one. But here, it would be fortunate and auspicious in a sense that when we try to engage as much as we can, at the same time we are kind of constructing kind of habitual tendency in getting more familiar with the concepts of emptiness. And this kind of topic, actually is saying that it's far beyond his reach and understanding. And in fact, it was, Dajinzin Rahula, the son of Buddha himself, has this appreciation words to the understanding of emptiness. In the verse, he talks about the features of emptiness being beyond imagination and beyond expressions of the words, which is the true innate nature of all phenomena, and that also serves as the mother of Buddhists of all three times. All those enlightened beings, Bodhisattvas, were actually the result of understanding of this concept. So therefore, kind of giving birth to all enlightened beings. So here, Geshe-la is saying that he'll try his best to kind of share whatever he knows about this concept, and it would be kind of attempt to, as this metaphoric expression, trying to chew even without proper teeth, and peeling off the layers as much as he can. To explain this concept.
Oda tendi indagala so nyame tabula jepe zembra me pata me pani noria ke nyaga yore se sumre me sidu sawan me indginji chadi yore zembra me sidu sawan me sel lagyo mare zem manan su nayade sudu dunangore zemba de nangore 율코란 이어변하지 난거래. 딘디 낭술도 요 말했을 고구거래. 딘디 낭술도 매나 딴 여상 줄듯이 살고거래. 거다 zem바면 셀 zem바면 좀 세디가라 가차 zem바. 거다 춘이 zem바시고 말아 가차 zem바도 고구거래. 가차데 강 나랑도 똥이 떠발라. 아주 낭술도 까밤. 낭술도 시 못이나. 로라이네 똥이 세대 똥바니 세대 차트에 가버리지 이거는 랑르비의 라마다다 가위신이 먹고 도망게 때가랑 숨도
So therefore, one of the greatest master, great master Tapolaji, he mentioned that it is there's a great risk in kind of making a differentiation between non-existence and non-existence, true non-existence, or inherent non-existence, between non-existence and inherent non-existence, intrinsic non-existence. When we say lack of true existence, lack of inherent existence, or intrinsic existence, it is not equal to non-existence. It is not saying that nothing exists at all. What it is saying here is that the way things appears to us, the mode of appearance of things to ordinary people's mind, that things or phenomena exist, intrinsically, inherently, independently, or objectively, that kind of appearances that we have, is not reality. So, so here it is kind of, the object of negation is the kind of appearance of truth, which is not reality. So we need to kind of basically here in the understanding of emptiness, we need to destroy that kind of mode of appearances, which is misconceptual thought. And so that is mentioned in many of the text of Lamrim, Stages Apart, and as expressed by many of the great spiritual masters as well.
텐디인가 가르쳐 거래. 맞죠? 낭줄들라 시 머투이나 동이 또 세대 백하버래. 같이 가야 돼. 가르까고 거래. 젬버 투바데 까니 젬버 메바데 롤라 차르투에지 고거와. 젬버 투세 세나미도 तापा थाजुंग ज़ेंबर टुपसे ते कांडे जिरे तापा थाजुंग जा मातो यहाँ Zembar tu says to Zulu Yamare. Tabatsu Kesi Trumna Kol Gukela Matebaji. Any me Chavala Matebaji, you'll crown on you and the Genjiana. What that the Zembar to set Tabatus when Zembar to set that, then is Jagore. Natun Nangzulde, Taranangore, go pe Michigi, Jaja Mangujil, then the Genjing at Nango Mare. You'll crown on it, but suit to your watching at Nangore. Nangzul Chinchilor. Nangzul Chinchilote Wanki, Deni, Penny Mambujita, Digeneni, Chadang King. Dindila, Nangzul de Tatande Midwas, Nangzul Chinchiloi, Lotigitang di Carsore, Duran Dinjegi, any Numolos of a take it king to us. Ta Dungalden Dejaina, Digore. Dungalden was on Dejamari. Dejama Indugala, Nangzul de Ka, whether nature Chumbuchayores.
So therefore we need to kind of destroy, eliminate or reduce that kind of mode of appearance that we have, which is not reality. And that kind of misconceptual thought make us too difficult to understand, the reality of how things exist or emptiness. And here, what we need to kind of, negate, what need to basically cease or stop is the appearance of things, which is, kind of appearance of things that they exist independently, truly, inherently. By stopping that kind of appearance, what we need to be having on the reverse side is that things doesn't exist independently, truly, inherently. Although things lack, inherent intrinsic existence, but if we say that if they exist, let's say kind of hypothetically, they exist inherently, intrinsically, then what should be the mode of their existence? Although that is not the reality. If they exist, let's say hypothetically, inherently, intrinsically, then their existence should be such a way that, the existence does not at all depends upon causes, factors, and conditions. It does not depend upon any other kind of actions, activities, and something that has to be completely kind of self-sufficient existence or arising from the objective itself. That is actually exactly how mode of appearance that we have. And that kind of appearance that things exist independently out there, objectively or inherently, is a misconception. And therefore, that kind of misconception then leads to all kinds of conceptual thoughts. And that kind of conceptual thoughts or misconceptual thoughts leads to further kind of creations of all kinds of negative emotions. And then we need to experience the result of those, emotions or mental factors. And there's nothing wrong with that if we want suffering, that is perfectly fine. But however, that's not the case. We don't want suffering. And therefore, there is something wrong in this kind of system that we need to be fixing. And so because of that, we need to go back to the beginning of all of these processes and then really kind of destroy, the beginning of everything, that wrong perception or, misconceptual thought.
차상 기야 돼. 맞아 낭줄데 땡땡 대화도 가시. 나는 낭줄데 봐줘니. 그 추두도 여와지 낭이 온디가라. 아니 디자니 니페 이동와자 제보다 말아지 통용도 가라. 아니 파 젠시차. 젠시차 차비 깽기 아니 베 델라 좋아지네. 아니 다 미고 먹부지 게용우야요데. 오늘 삼다나 또 투야 되지 돼도 가시.
Having anger and hatred and attachment generating and arising in our thoughts has is very much related with how kind of external objects appear to you. There's a sort of deep connection between how things appears to you to how all these negative emotions arises. So things that appears to you kind of in a very appealing, attractive way, and then on top of that you further kind of elaborate it, exaggerate it, by craving and grasping, and then lead to many kind of other problems. So this is something that is not sort of too difficult to understand.
What? Can't you Nangzu tela solo yang to matang ina. Nangzu the she matubina. Songi sindi la logachoya, songi sindela, revaya, patch mebs on the jere.
So therefore, the mode of appearance of things to us is something that requires over and over contemplation, understanding, and without kind of dismantling, the mode of appearance that we have, it is almost kind of impossible to have understanding of emptiness.
Ko di shologa nishu tsanyi bakhrang ne sebu thonu go to ase. Tati moni karo chini shea kita nyamja pe ngola ne pe di sungdo tanda di subject denala nyamja to total gombas total sindela denzing ki topachi yore yulching ki topachi yore ani chujing ki topachi yore nyamja la topachi sumkan no yore denzing ki topa ngara so kanga yeyere makapa yoya khana ya mare ti subject khorani ti duwa ota ti indugala ti ne chembore di ti khorang ne jidar nawa de rangisem singdo nga so nangsulde nangsul ra se pai ji ngone nga karaso sem pa lui ta shabe so ni nga so chergo mare ngone jana din zenga so mingda 탕에데 파 따샤게 좀 마도 율은 줍샤게 탕이지 윤레요 말에 레요 말데 따 친질로 따따 아주 파기니 율 코랑원이 좀 되긴지 아주 난거 알아 왔다 되네와 나와데 생이 셈 라진데 저바다 타바레스 저바 가르다 타바레 저바 덴지나 타바레 저바 에니베 율진 나와다 탈레레 냠장 몰라 와다 취진기 저바다 탈레 데인디가 냠자 남파도 비통바니 세야데 와다 두스레 디고나 동상 신이 동상 그런 가자 된두밤 야니 율진기 타드도 나에 나와 취진 나에 나와 때다 가네 동상 그런 좀 남kal도 동상 좀 마도 잘해요 말에 어디 딘디지라 냠자바 시기어래 어디 또바해야 돼 람이 또바해야 돼 아니 가래 두어래 냠자는 냠자라 또바 퍼야 마도 제다 걸로 또바 균 퍼야 그래요 말에 딘디가라 냠자데 시부지 가서 내 전부 차고래 예 넘버 3개베 람 냠술랭기지라 빼내 전부 차고래 어쨌든 니가 뭐네 디 야니안도 디당 아니 람림 카둘라 아니 동바니기 아니 가장 윈진디 되게디 삼루다데 아니 쇼로가니 스타니다 되니 다치 야니안도 삼루당과데 미스게 쳔버리자스 뭐다 두스 삼루당 아니 결혼서 야니안도 배자로 아니 두스제나 또수 니움 그레스 승인 되는 쪽에 타상다 딩이신의 존진 세만은 일레미지 갈슬알이 오다 된다고 아니베 젬바르 벤진 디기디다 디기디 트바티소 배 가지 셈나 코르 미트비에 답시지다 디 친지로선 문지 투바지 좋아이나 아니 고 친지로 비바 하고 문진지 투나 아저 빠자왕기 레레기 알아데 양 레바데 슈충루 마도텐디 에 슈충보데 용 말해시 어다 두시제 펜다 얘기를 섬도 어다 두스레시 다른 거네 손이 삼라다라 렌진라 또서 낭출데 시마투이나 딱 가버려 낭출데 거네 가서 개 전부 차고 가진 낭출 랩거로 가서 낭출들라 가진 낭출 랩이요래
verse 22. When you look at the outline, Geshe was looking in Tibetan, verse 22 deals with the how to meditate on space like emptiness during meditative equipoise, space like emptiness. So having kind of said what he said earlier, this becomes even more clearer if you read this verse 22. And I will read your translation first, then I will read the other one second, and then I will read the next one, another one, the same again. So, whatever appears to be truly existent is merely what mind in delusion creates. This mind of ours also is from the beginning devoid of an essence inherently real. Then realizing truth is beyond the conceptions. We have of the known and the knower as well dispel the belief in inherent existence. The sons of the Buddhists all practice this way. And here more kind of direct translation. Whatever appears is your own mind. Your mind from the start was free from fabricated extremes. Understanding this, do not take to mind inherent science of subject and object. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. So it begins with saying, whatever appears is your own mind. And then in the meaning translation, whatever appears to be truly existent is merely what mind in delusion creates. So when we look out at things, things appears to be kind of out there by itself, the way they exist. But in reality, all those out there, the mode of existence is imposed by our mind. They don't exist out there independently, outside of mind. So it is kind of created or constructed by our mind through imputation and designation. But here again, that kind of understanding that everything is designated, created by our mind, it doesn't appear to us, to ordinary mind. The way things we see is out there independently, separately, self-sufficiently, and as if kind of true existence, inherent existence, objectively kind of existence, but that is not the case here. Your mind, whatever appears is your own mind. So what appears to you is actually kind of what is created by your mind, that is out there. Your mind from the start was free from fabricated extremes. Fabricated extremes. This is the translation here. The mind is beginning devoid in essence. I'm trying to find that word in the other translation. So, turtle is the Tibetan word, which is directly translated here as fabricated extremes, or sometimes translated as elaborations, mental elaborations. So, when the practitioners who are at the stage or who have attained what we call meditative equipoise, when they look out at and see how things exist, their understanding or the mode of appearance to that kind of mind is totally free from all kinds of fabricated extremes or elaborations. So here, elaborations or extremes can be of any of these three forms. The first one is completely free from truth grasping. Second is fabrications of subject and object. Third is fabrication of nature. I would say nature, or Churchen is kind of nature. So free from all those kind of fabrications or elaborations, and so to this kind of practitioners who are in a deep meditative equipoise, everything appears to be what would in your what would use here is space-like emptiness. Everything now appears to be totally kind of empty. Just like a space, free from fabricated extremes from all those three elaborations, and so during the stage of, again, to make a kind of further clarification of meditative equipoise, that's the only state of mind when practitioners move from one stage to next higher level of stage, not during a post-meditative state. So this becomes really extremely important to practitioners who are engaged in these stages of path. So this section, in order to understand, this space-like emptiness and meditative equipoise, and how, things are lacking from elaborations or fabricated extremes, it would be helpful if you look at the commentaries in the Lamrim text, Great Stages of Path, under the section where text deals with the object of negation, or refutation. Again here, without identifying or recognizing this how we are kind of distorted from the beginning, there is no way to understand the emptiness or the true nature of how things exist, and so this understanding will help us to kind of sort of getting more close to the understanding of emptiness. Although because of our mental imprints or latencies, there might be kind of, because of strong influence of those imprints, the mental imprints or latencies might appear as an obstacle. When you look out and there seems to be everything out there independently, but there might be that kind of obstacles, but the kind of the gradual repetitive practice will sort of reduce the power of the mental imprints, which are again merely distortions. And so for the understanding of emptiness, it is important to understand truth grasping thought, what we call denzin, grasping to truth or truth grasping. And in order to understand further this truth grasping, we need to understand and to dismantle that the mode of appearance that we have before understanding of emptiness.
Wada nishu sasum bade diredoa jetop tu chadang yula venjen pompas ati monere tatendegi nyamlen tarcha jeng인지라 묘에 터니 tatende 용거 왔대 간데스르자다 냠자가라 코 니랑 순간 눕디요 유징 나와요 말이 덴베 나와 덴징이 나와대요 말이 덴둑 나와 아니 최징이 나와대 매 용디가라 딱고 남자 냠자 남가던 비 똥바 따가라 란 냠버자진데 똥이 코라라 똥이 터몰라다 냠버자진데 덴디기 로진 지사디 거래 다 디니 제톱래야 장용도가라 아니 다 지율대서 강가태 연구하래 유일책 나와대 내 연구래 덴지 나와라 덴지 마방 인디가라 또 덴지 나와 레그래 뭐다 이 레그래 때 나존 러보 곰바균이 맹엔지 율고랑 투두도 나와 나진지 요랬었는데 텔레 쟁겨와 제톱받라 대요 말에 아 난다 다이 단다 무비 다 TV는 따이나 디 뉴스 쟁에네 TV는 요 수지는 거 말아 어다 때나진지 아 난다는 것도 때나진지 매 삼바지 남남 슈슈기 쳐주고 알아 근데 인디가라 근데 냠자바 때상도 차단 깨디간다 유도 수도 빠지 많아도 차단디야 근데 슈춤보 용거 말아 디펜더요 어디 인디가라 라마츠 여신인도 저게 아주 낭술시고 그래 세야돼 낭술들라 제바짝 걸세대 시다 내 전부 잡아래 가지 아주 지시 상마게 버도 나 냠자바 마토베 제토바 장주세바 사통번에게 제토바들라 나양 아주 나진 난겨래 거기 니여버서네 난겨래 이나 그런서 된디기 진짜들 얘기가 말해 제버들이 아주 진짜요래 슈춤을 얘기하래 진짜 대왕기 딘데 대왕기 레데 톱체 살거래 먼저 레코나 살거 말해 낭이나 진짜 메인저 대체버도 왔어
기술에 대한 로그인 바식제대.
로그인
아, 네. Verse 23.
로샤가
Let's ask no lotion and this nyam do
Yeah,
shish.
yeah.
This outline of some of, I don't know, I posted this on Facebook or not. It's really helpful actually. In one sentence, try to understand what is saying in the verse. 22 space like emptiness during meditative equipoise. Verse 23 talks about in this outline that I have how to overcome the beliefs that the desire and the hatred are real between meditation sessions. So the Tibetan word for this is actually jetop. Je means after, top means attainment. So it could be translated literally as after attainment. But what it really refers to is sometimes I use word post meditative session. So when you wake up from deep meditative equipoise, now you are not actively in meditation, deep meditative equipoise, but aftermath, sometimes translated as aftermath session. So now arising from meditative equipoise, and when you are in post meditative, or meaning wise this could be correct, in between kind of meditation session, which means we are not actually in the state of meditation. So during that time, now practitioners, their understanding is when they look out, things does appears to be independently, inherently, objectively existing out there. Although during the stage of meditative equipoise, they have a completely understanding of things being free from all elaborations, fabrications, all those three, subject and object, truth grasping, and third one is Tibetan word is churchen, so it's kind of objective existence. I said wrong earlier. So those three elaborations, free of elaborations of from all of those three, or all of those three, fabrications. So aftermath or post-meditative or in between meditation sessions, now they have that appearance that things exist independently, inherently out there, but with the actual understanding of how they exist, they really don't have grasping. They don't hold on to that, although there is appearance, mode of appearance. Unlike us, we have both that mistaken appearance as well as grasping to that appearance. So it would be like, example of watching a TV news broadcaster, and you see a person in the TV, but nobody will think that there's a real person in there. So there's one kind of mode of appearance, but there's another understanding in our head. So and it makes big differences how then kind of sort of things moved further from that. So post-meditative stage for practitioners, although things appears to be inherently independently existing, but since there is no grasping onto that, no craving, the actual kind of problems that are created by attachment and desire and all those doesn't exist there, but for ordinary people, so they are not actually creating the karmic that will yield to the suffering of that kind of appearances, but that is totally different with the ordinary people like us. As said earlier, we think things appears to be independently existing out there. Not only that, we have a grasping that this is true, this is how things works, and therefore karmic action that we create becomes much more powerful. It becomes sort of we are unnecessarily kind of validating the karmic actions that we create, and therefore problems and sufferings. So again here it is important to kind of to sort of to begin with, to dismantle this distorted view that we have of how things exist out there, and that is extremely kind of crucial here.
오다 또 전에 삼다나 덴덴 섬의 핑그레스 소 삼다나 산데 뺨미스베게 침보래 알아서 균도 삼당 거라 또 전에 데니 삼다이나 데니 또서 동일라 과차야라 핑그레 데마도 배 가보래 동이신데 레라보지다 써니는 말에 와다 두스레 다 이동의 윤랑 태바나스 이야르기 뛰긴 자순 지진도스 제반나야 렘버 밀타진 진짜 봉에 갈슬알린 승숭도아 다 만함 숨진이 짤네 아주 단단 낭생 니가요래 아니 냠자바트서 낭생 니가요 말에 제토팔라 나와 이경 심바요 말에 낭생 니가요 인자 땅아주 레데 삽청도 사고 와 어다 덴디기 직 원은 그런주 렌더 좀 치감 부지마도 렌더를 지지 애니 삼노다 두스제나 갈래 레지데 tun지 살망 던데니 동용숨 도다이 시야요레스 데니 소지션 말에
yes then we juman king tuye di pedi jare del jar gomare
어디래 나신
나와요 심범이요 나신이가 니가 멤버죠
당아주 나신이가요 가서 길라 배는 가서지나 담말바 배 머리 비정한 순대긴지라 나신이고 니가요 제도 받아도 장섬 제도 받아서라 나와이 그냥 셴바네 냠자발라 나신이가요 말이 어다티 바기 유메 데모아 유마켄 아니 미 레베 아니 템 치레베 미 말레베 데모테 두스 숨라 페자고
23 in your translation, whenever we meet with a beautiful object or something attractive which pleases our mind, do not be deceived into thinking it differs in fact from a summertime rainbow. Though both of them have such a lovely appearance, nothing substantial lies behind their facade. Is that how you pronounce? Abundant the drives of compulsive attraction. The sons of the Buddhas all practice this way. Let me read the easy translation. When you encounter attractive objects, though they seem beautiful like a rainbow in a summer, don't regard them as a real and give up attachment. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So at least kind of making some kind of attempt to try to understand emptiness, pushing yourself into kind of some thinking is needed here, understanding of emptiness, because understanding of emptiness being, as said earlier, profound, extremely difficult to understand, you need some kind of effort through kind of, in analyzing and in examining, and need some kind of movement of your thoughts. So at this moment, for ordinary people like us, we have both appearance as well as grasping. And appearance and grasping, in a sense that, as said earlier, things appears to be independently existing inherently or objectively. We have that appearance. Not only that, we have a grasping to that this is real, this is true. But practitioners in a deep meditative equipoise, none of those, neither appearance nor grasping. And practitioners of a post-meditative equipoise, they have appearance, but they have no grasping. So you can see kind of in a different when we use this in the kind of metaphor, typically you will find a metaphor of using metaphor of magicians creating a magic. So to magicians, what he creates and then grasping that this is true, none of those exist in his mind. He knows what he creates is just illusion, and he doesn't think what he creates is real. There's no grasping to that. And to audience, it's totally different. They have that appearance as well as a grasping. So the magicians and then audience and then somebody who like a meditative equipoise, when they look out somebody performing a magic, knows that audience as well as magicians are both distorted. So and Geshe was using kind of again as he said earlier, for individual like him, both there's existence of both appearance as well as grasping, but for after kind of post meditative session, only appearance, no grasping, and deep meditative equipoise, both it doesn't exist. Allow this.
딱 오늘 흉되게 자참벌이 이 저렇게 니들 양양도 삼당도 뺀스는 내 참부도 도스 제제는 삼당이나 애니 또서 아주 쪼쪼 아주 낭출들라 양양도 삼당다 대핑기리 와서 나용 뛰가라 수톱도 난 거래 zember matub siade 고아된 땡근을 내고 zemba 세데 춘이기 zembal라 맞아지 같이 zembal라 자네 같이 zembal라 자네 같이 zem바나 진짜 주부여 말스도 갈라 다 주산신다진 섬당고와 이 솔로근디 니가 돼 오다 두스지니 자치 섬당이나 또스 펜도용 그 섬고도스.
So here it is kind of important to try to understand this concept, reading both these two verses together, 22 and 23. As said earlier, what is important here is really kind of investigate and further kind of examine how things appears to us, the perception that we have, ordinary perception. And when talking about, things existing independently, self-sufficiently, from that, proper understanding of that will lead to understanding of lack of true existence. When we, in this lack of true existence, true here is object of negation. It's something that is not, not reality. This truth is not same as the truth of, in another sense, the reality. So here the truth specifically refers to something that needs to be sort of, objected or negated or seized. Now, we'll take a break here.